Boys, what is going down? Welcome back to the channel. It is so good to be here with you. It's Wednesday morning. We're talking about men's physique. There's two big shows this weekend. We got one in Memphis, Tennessee, and we have another show in the United Kingdom. Let's talk about the roster of the Memphis Pro. This is Saturday, April 8th. Any boys gonna be there, man? If you are, let me know in the comments down below. And if obviously you show up, get a video or a picture for your boy, send me a DM, I'll shout you out. We got Rodney Bond, we have Kevin Brown, Michael Ferguson, Chance Harper, Emanual Hunter. Does that name ring a bell? This is a guy that just won the Tri-City Classic, defeating Carlos de Oliveira. Emanual Hunter is already qualified for the Mr. Olympia in 2023 later this year. Is he stealing an Olympia qualification from one of these guys? I don't know. We're going to have to see. We have Marvin Jimerson, Stephen Kleber, Benquil, Marogny, another big name, a 2022 Olympian, a guy who won 3 pro shows last year. We have Jean-Pierre Marshall, Dev Maxwell, John Murphy, Kenny Privet. That's a big guy with a lot of muscle. If you compete in men's physique, you're going to love this freak physique by Kenny Privet. Shout out to Kenny. He's always tagging me and stuff, man. Good luck at this show. I know you just competed at the Tri-City. Let's go, Kenny. We got Sharif Reed, Trey Trotter. I want to bounce back though to a dark horse of this show. There's always a dark horse in every single show. This year, it is Kevin Brown for me. This is a cuts athlete, so we have Team Zero Gravity with Benquil. We have we have Unchained Physiques with Emanual Hunter. And then we have Coach Cuts with Kevin Brown in a nasty physique. I think he's your dark horse. Can he take it away from the top 2 guys? Now let's talk about the top 2 guys competing at this show. I mean, I'm reading that roster. And if you know anything about men's physique and you've been following the channel, you understand who the big names are for this Memphis show. And there's 2 big names, 2 Olympians. I believe the only 2 Olympians on this list, so it only makes sense to cover them. I have your 3-time pro show winner in 2022. Boys, that's 3 pro wins in 2022. Benquil, Pierre Marogny. And then we have Emanual Hunter, who just took down, as you guys saw in my last video, Carlos de Oliveira for the 3rd time. A lot of people wanted Carlos to win that, boys. Emanuel's been beating Carlos for like 6 months now. So here we go. We got our top 2, and let's talk about this back pose, because the back pose is the most important pose in men's physique, I feel. And it's the most important body part. Our Mr. Olympia has the best back in the division. He's the Mr. Olympia for a reason. So who hits this pose better? I was talking to my girlfriend the other night, and we were really diving deep and looking at these physiques. And who do you guys like? Let me ask you, like, we're all part of this community. Appreciate you, boys. Who do you like hitting this pose better? You like Benquil Marogny on the left? Or do you like Emanual Hunter on the right? Both different backs, but both very impressive backs. I'm going to say I like Emanual Hunter's way of hitting this better only because how wide he has his arms, it just makes him look that much wider. Do I think Ben is hitting this incorrectly or wrong or not good? No. Ben is one of the best posers in men's physique. This guy trains other pros how to pose, other Olympians how to pose. Benquil is hitting this absolutely money. Something about Emanual and how he spreads his arms a little bit wider just creates that illusion of just a wider, bigger back. Now let's talk about the back. Let's talk about these muscles, the trapezius, the rhomboid major, the latimus dorsi, right? The erectors, the rear delts, the teres minor, the teres major. No, I don't know that on top of my head. I pulled up this diagram. I want you guys to see it. Let's get familiar with these back muscles. Who has the best traps? Let's take a look at both these guys. Emanual Hunter's traps versus Benquil's traps. One thing Benquil does have going for him over Emanual is the dryness and how shredded his back is. You can see a little bit more detail with Benquil throughout the traps, while Emanual a little bit softer, but still seems like to have a more round and bubbly look. Traps wise, I think I'm going to give it to Benquil. How about the rhomboids? Rhomboids are those muscles right there. I'll zoom in so you guys can see them and point them out. Again, that one's super hard. They're tiny muscles. They're one of the smallest muscles in your back when we're looking at this diagram. So that one's kind of 50-50. That one's a hard one. Let's talk about the latissimus dorsi. Geez, what a name. I got to give this one to Emanual. Just the pure thickness of the lower lats and the width of the lats from Emanual are just crazy. And that's why Emanual continues to win these shows. When he turns around, that back thickness is crazy. That's something that Aaron Banks has. That's just gnarly. Benquil's back is great. It truly is. But Emanual with that thickness, it's hard to beat. I got to give the lats to Emanual Hunter. How about the rear delts? Both of these guys have very, very impressive rear delts. I think Benquil, because of the tattoos, it's kind of hard to see the detail. So I'm going to give the rear delts to Emanual. Let's move on to the teres major. Who has better teres major muscles in the back? Again, the bubbliness from Emanual, I got to give it to him. So right now I have Emanual Hunter just barely inching forward over Benquil with this back post. Now let's talk about the front. Again, boys, these are the two biggest names competing this weekend in men's physique. If you have not been following men's physique, make sure you subscribe. I'm talking about Benquil Pierre, and I'm talking about Emanual Hunter. Both of these guys are going head-to-head this weekend in Memphis. One day I will be at these shows watching this stuff in person, so I'm super excited. But let's talk about who hit this pose better. This is a front pose from Benquil, a front pose from Emanual. The one thing I love about Benquil is he's a taller guy. He's probably about 5'10", maybe 5'11", if I'm giving him that. He stands so tall. Benquil stands tall. Look at his legs. I love how straight they are, and it just shows how tall and big his frame is. I love that. I love his arm placement. I love how he's tilting his hips a little bit. I love his hand on his waist, nice and relaxed, has a big smile. Let's move over to Emanual Hunter. A stockier, thicker, more bubbly physique, probably more filled in, especially in the chest area. Hits it really nice as well. Has the 2 fingers on the hips. I gotta say, I like the full hand on the hips more than the 2 fingers from Emanual Hunter. Again, boys, this is just personal preference. This is just my opinion, but both these guys are hitting this pose really, really nicely. I mean, these guys are really, really good at what they do, boys. They're being coached by awesome coaches who clearly understand how to pose these guys in men's physique. If we're talking about the shoulders, both of these guys have very, very, very impressive shoulders. I think Emanual turns his shoulders to the front just a touch more, so you're able to see that width. So maybe you could give the shoulders to Emanual. As far as the abs, that midsection, Emanual Hunter is a darker individual, his skin complexion. But again, I think Benquil's abs are just more prominent. They're deeper. And if you look at it, it looks like Benquil brings in a little bit better conditioning than Emanual. So that might be something the judges are looking for this weekend. Are they going to be looking for conditioning? Are they going to be looking for more of the size? Are they going to be looking for more of the fullness? Or like Tyler Mannion said this weekend, are they going to be looking for that flow, that aesthetics, that overall complete physique? So let me ask you, boys, as we're looking at these two, we just talked about the back pose. Who do you like? Who do you see taking it this weekend out of these two guys? Because I'm telling you right now, unless Kevin, the dark horse who I just talked about, comes in and swoops it from under these guys, one of these two guys are going to be either a new Olympian for the 2023 year or a double Olympian. So I'm going to ask this question again. Is Emanual Hunter going to come into this show, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in 3 days' time and steal an Olympia qualification from Benquil? This is the show you're going to want to see. I'll do a recap on this show probably Monday morning, and then Friday I'll do another video giving you guys some last-minute updates. But let me know in the comments down below, who do you have winning this show? This is the next show in men's physique. It's the Memphis Pro, Saturday, April 8th. And I want to read off the roster one more time. We got Rodney Bond, Kevin Brown. I wish I could talk about all these guys. This video would be 50 minutes long. Michael Ferguson, Chance Harper, Emanual Hunter. We just talked about Emanual. Marvin Jimerson, Stephen Kleiber, Benquil, Marogny. DM me, Stephen, so I can know how to pronounce your name on these videos. Jean-Pierre Marshall, Dev Maxwell. We have Kenny Privet. Love that name, bro. Kenny Privet. Dope-ass physique. Sharif Reed, another big guy. Met Sharif and talked to him. Really nice individual down in Boston last year. Another giant physique. A guy that's going to match up to Kenny very, very nicely. Huge frames. And then obviously, boys, we have Trey Trotter. Jeremy Buendia threw up this post about a week ago, and I've yet to talk about it. And I want to shout out one of my close friends, JC Harden, Introverted Physique. Thank you so much for the tag, brother. Love you, man. JC and Jeremy Buendia are close friends. JC tags me and says, Hart, look what's going on with Jeremy Buendia. I don't talk about Jeremy too much over the last few weeks, or I didn't talk about him too much. Let's talk about this physique, because he threw this up, and one thing I love about Jeremy is its full transparency. Full transparency the last year, full transparency we're going to see leading up to this year's Mr. Olympia. The King is coming back. I call him the King because he has 4 titles. The only one that is close to Jeremy Buendia with the 4 titles is Brandon Hendrickson with 3, and Brandon just lost to Aaron Banks. So men's physique is crazy right now. Let's read what Jeremy Buendia has to say with his latest physique update from the champ. He says, "Today, I'm 202 pounds fasted. I've been taking it easy the past several weeks because of my neck, and I've been taking TRT only the past 3 months. I love me some TRT, man. Besides the neck and shoulders issues, which I got an epidural for yesterday, this has been the healthiest I've been in a long time." I love to hear that. I love to hear that we have a healthy Jeremy Buendia. I want to see everyone healthy. I want to see everyone at their best. That's what I want. He says blood work and blood pressure are almost perfect, and mentally, I feel the best I have felt in years. I'm ready to get after it. I'm trusting in God's plan for me. God had to take a lot away from me in order to teach me some valuable lessons. Changing your heart takes time. Love that. And over the past few years, I can see the changes he's made in my life. I'm proud to look back and see the growth I made mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Love it, Jerm. He says, if it's in God's plan for me to become the champion again, so be it. If not, I know my journey back will inspire and motivate people to not give up on themselves when times get dark. Have faith. The good part is just around the corner. I love the new mentality from Jeremy Buendia. He's not out of the gate saying, I'm winning the 2023 Olympia. I'm destroying Banks. I'm taking off Brandon's head. I'm going to be the best that there ever was again. I'm going to win 5, fight for 5. Fuck it. It's not the old Jeremy Buendia, and you can really see that by the way he talks to us on Instagram and writes these posts. This is a much more humble, a much more self-reflected Jeremy Buendia, and that's what you want to see. What really stood out to me, he says, I'm proud to look back and see the growth I made mentally and emotionally and spiritually. And this is the part I want you guys to hear. This is why I know Jeremy Buendia is leveling up emotionally. If it's in God's plan for me to become champion again, so be it. Again, you guys are all part of this community. I want you guys to answer in the comments below. I really do read and respond to majority of comments. Is Jeremy Buendia going to come back in 2023 and defeat Aaron Banks and take out a Brandon Hendrickson? Where do you see Jeremy Buendia based off what he looks like right now? Hasn't started prep, still way in the offseason. Do you see Jeremy Buendia winning that 5th title? Of course, I did not forget about the One Bro Pro show down in the United Kingdom. This is also this weekend, Saturday, April 8th. And not a very big show. The last show that I just talked about, the Memphis show, I think it had like 10 guys. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And excuse me if I mispronounce these names, man. I'm American. These names are not American, so it's hard for me to pronounce. But we have Piotr Borecki out of Poland. Wow. We have Josh Bridgman out of the United Kingdom, hometown kid. I've talked about Josh a few times now on the channel. He's going to be one of the front runners for the show. We'll talk about him in a bit. We have Mauro Fialho Garcia Jr. out of Spain. It's so funny, I woke up this morning and I was just going to talk about Elton and Josh Bridgman taking the show, but I got a few of you guys telling me that this third guy here, Mauro Fialho Garcia Jr. out of Spain, could be a dark horse, could give these guys some trouble. I haven't looked up his physique yet. If you guys know who that is, DM me his physique. I'd love to take a look at it, see if that's true, see if he can beat guys like Bridgman and Elton, Pinto, Mota. We have Benedict Lucas out of Germany. And then obviously Elton, Mota. So really looking at this list, I see 2 guys that could be champion. 2 guys that could compete at the One Bro Pro show and go to the 2023 Olympia, get that qualification. And that is Josh Bridgman. To the left here, working with Maka Maurice. Shout out to my boy, working on some final touches with posing. Josh looks great. He's my thumbnail. And if you look at that thumbnail, the boy looks tired. The guy is definitely working his ass off. So we have Josh Bridgman versus Elton. And they're completely different physiques. Both of their physiques are pretty freaky. I think conditioning from both these guys is going to be top tier. That's not going to be an issue. I'm really, really curious to see how their posing routines are going to go. Again, Monday, I'll do a recap on this. I'll do a recap on the Memphis Pro. I'll do a recap on the One Bro Pro show. But really, guys, again, I'm thinking Josh Bridgman versus Elton Mota. Elton's a pro show winner. I believe he's already qualified for the 2023 Olympia. Josh competed a few times last year, did fairly well. Is it his time to go to the Olympia at the One Bro Pro show? You guys got to let me know in the comments down below. Again, here is your contest schedule. Huge shout out to First Callouts there at Instagram that really keeps you updated in a very unique way, in a very user-friendly way. When you look at their page, you really know what's going on with the schedule with every class. I think they announced they're covering everything. Obviously, I'm just concerned about men's physique. Just had the Tri-City Classic in Columbus, Georgia. Emanual Hunter won that. This weekend, the two shows I'm talking about, the One Bro Pro show in the United Kingdom. We have the Memphis Pro in Memphis, Tennessee. Next weekend, we have the Wasatch Warrior down in Salt Lake City, Utah, about 40 minutes from me. So I do plan on going to that show with my girl and showing up and showing support for the amateur guys as well as the pro guys, maybe get a couple of interviews, talk to guys. I just like being there and watching these guys in person, because if you have not went to a pro show before, you're missing out on some crazy ass physiques. There's a reason I love men's physique, and it's because of these crazy ass physiques. I bust my ass, boys. I do everything right, like 99% everything right, and I've been doing it for years. But these guys are on a different level, and if you truly love the sport, all you can do is respect the shit out of it. I love seeing these physiques in person. It fires me up, and it motivates me to do better with my physique. I love it. The weekend after that, we have the Charlotte Pro in Charlotte, North Carolina, another men's physique show, and another show the same weekend, the Los Angeles Grand Prix in Anaheim, California. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 shows left in April for men's physique, and that's just crazy. Who's winning the Memphis Pro? Emanual Hunter or Benquil Pierre Marogny? Or is there going to be a dark horse that I don't know about slip in there and beat both these guys? And who believes in Jeremy Buendia's comeback? Is there anyone still out there that thinks Jeremy Buendia, after losing his last title in 2018, can come back, 5 years later and still be competitive and still win the damn thing? And then Bridgman and Elton. Who do you have with that battle? That is a very crazy matchup. Two different physiques, really, but both these guys are going to bring the heat. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's joined the channel lately. We almost are at 50,000 subscribers in 5 months doing this, which is crazy. In 2 days, it'll mark 5 months of doing this channel. I love you boys so much. Thank you for being a part of this. Men's Physique has only been around for like 11, 12 years, boys. Imagine when Men's Physique has been here for 20, 25 years or more, like bodybuilding and stuff. So Men's Physique is exploding. I love you boys for being a part of this. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoy the content. Love to learn about Men's Physique, or you're getting some value out of these videos, whether it's the knowledge or whether it's just entertaining. I love you boys and I appreciate you. If you're interested in coaching, please send me a DM on Instagram. Just DM me, hey Hart, super interested in coaching. These are my physique goals, and let's get to work. That's all I want, boys. I would just want to level up everyone. I've been leveling up myself lately. I got a handful of guys I'm leveling up both physically and emotionally. Let's make this next guy you. Send me a DM. I'd love to help you. It's Wednesday, April 5th. I'll see you guys Friday. I'm fucking out of here.